All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol Nndm, Nano Dimensions. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, and to all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. It lets me know you helped out the channel by clicking that button. Why? Because it helps out the YouTube algorithm to know that you appreciate the time and effort that I put into making these videos. So, Nndm is falling lower, right? Hits a low and bounces right back up. Now, Nndm is holding up pretty well above 650. It did raise up to almost $11 and some change, almost reaching $12, and started to fall back down. And right now, what we're really looking for is consolidation or a nice run up, consolidation, and another nice run up. So let's go ahead and see how ARK Invest has positioned themselves, right? So here we have RQ on the 7th. That was yesterday. Today's the 8th. They had 6,935,980 shares. And when you come right over here, right, on the 8th, RQ, they have 6,953,298 shares. So when you do the math there, they went ahead and upped about almost 20,000 shares, just about 18,000 shares on RQ. Now, ARKW, they had a total amount of 5,564,307 shares. And over here on ARKW on the 8th, they have 5,564,307 shares. So we've seen them sell in this one. And it's nice to see them actually stay neutral in ARKW, but in ARKQ, they're loading up. Not a huge position, but they loaded up. So here we are. The low here, which is very important, is 763. I want you guys to keep that in mind moving forward. And the first support level to kind of narrow it down as a midway point you can use is 780. So keep in mind 763. If that gets broken through, this could go further down. And before getting there, you have 780 to watch how it's reacting between 780 and 763 to see if the bulls fight back to bring themselves back up. Now, for this momentum to continue, the bulls need to break through the 50-day moving average of 796 and the resistance of 801, turn it into a support to bounce up, reach newer highs and new resistance levels. If you learned something new, I look forward to seeing you guys subscribe, staying around, looking at your guys' comments in the next following videos. Don't forget to click the like button to let me know you watch this video. Share this with your friends and community. And let's go ahead and jump right into what we got here, because right after this chart analysis, I always talk about stocks that you should add to your watch list and stocks that I briefed on this morning. So check it out. The ticker symbol I want you guys to add to your watch list is a very big company. They did a stock split and they've gone up $7 since I mentioned it. It's a slow mover, but definitely one to watch. I think it still has some more upside. But before we jump into it, here we have on the screen a chart to one of the stocks I briefed on this morning. If this is something that interests you, you can definitely join me and the other investors over at the Patreon and Discord. And there's some very bright, smart investors over there, learning investors, beginning investors, and even experienced investors. Very privileged to have them all over at the Patreon, and we're looking forward to you joining us as well. So right here, it was sitting at 160 when I briefed on it. So let's go ahead and look here, the time frame that I went ahead and mentioned it. It was 8:46 a.m. SFET has jumped and has news coming out that they're approved vendor for NASA Solutions. Interesting one. It is at 160. Volume is picking up too. So literally right there is 8:46. 8:47 is the timestamp, and it was sitting at 160. And it's kind of funny that it ended the day post market at 160. That was like probably the support / resistance of the whole day. But from that point forward, it jumped up and it hit 178. That right there was a 10 to 12% gain. We're looking for 5 to 10% every single morning, and that's it. No more. We're not greedy. We just want our 5 to 10%. Anything beyond 10%, I call it a home run. Anywhere between 10 to 15 is pretty reasonable, but anything beyond 15, 20, that's a home run. And this one was pretty close of a home run at 12% gain, right? But I'm just rounding it down to 10%. It was 2 cents away from 10%. So this one right here definitely ran up pretty fast, and that was within minutes. If you look at the timestamp here, 8:47, all the way up to the peak here at 8:52 in just a few minutes. Now, Another one which was very interesting, no pun intended, and the ticker symbol is very. I talked about it at 8:11, and we could see the timestamp here, and it was right here, 8:11. Very just pulled back and touched $14. One to watch, especially with this kind of volume. Already ran once this morning, and it has been pulling down. So this one close to 8:11. It had hit a low here, right here around this time. You could see it here around this time. It was starting to fall, and it hit a low here of about $14. All right, a few minutes after that, and it bounced up to 14 and some change, fell back down to 13 and some change, and bounced up to 15. So this one gave close to 10% if you just waited a few minutes. This one took almost 30 minutes. Now it pulled back, and once the market opened, right, it hit a low of 14.17, and it shot up right away to 20.64 and hitting a high of $21 in just a matter of an hour. Okay, this was a big home run. This was almost 50% jump within an hour, and I told you guys that 5 to 10% is what we're looking for. This was a big play here, and it was kind of just sitting sideways, and it took off. So if you're interested in opportunities like this one, definitely join us over at the Patreon. So here we are with the ticker symbol. I want you guys to add to your watch list, and we're going to see when I mentioned it. And by the way, the links are down below. I didn't mention that. The links are down below for the Discord and Patreon. So Next Era Energy, NEE. Let's go ahead and put this on the 30-minute so we can look at it a little bit more comfortable. And you could see here how this stock pulled back, and it hit a low of $68. And when I mentioned it, let's go ahead and look at what date it was. I went ahead and mentioned this on the 21st, and right there is charge point. I've talked about this one several times, so I left it there. But charge point has been another one of our great opportunities since the 21st. But Next Era Energy, I wanted it to get closer to $60. That was me being greedy, but anything close to 70, 68 was a steal on this one, okay? And this stock did a stock split back in October. Okay, and it was getting back to pre-split numbers. That's what was making it even more interesting, because we may not see those numbers again. So when I mentioned it on March 21st, right, it had actually gone downwards, right? It was this weekend right here, sitting close to $72 and some change, right? And then it dipped, right, on the 22nd, down to $70 and some change. We never saw it touch that again. Bounced back up, came back down to 71, and since 71, it's been shooting up, okay? Just going down, up and down, up and down. This is a company I suggest doing your research on, and its peak here after the split was $87. So it's $10 away from its highest point. I believe this has room to even break through that. Now, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight, but this stock has been hitting newer lows, newer highs, newer lows, newer highs. This is a tremendous company, huge company, and institutional ownership is big. I'm talking about close to the trillions, okay? Think about that on how much they own. They own large amounts of this company. It's huge. Like, you look up how much Vanguard owns, and it's like hundreds of billions of dollars. And it's like, when you look it up on Google, it does 0.0 something something trillion. Like, they're basically telling you, like, they got a lot. They got a lot. The value is a lot. But you can also see too how their revenue has become smaller, but not because of their business model, but because I think of innovation, right? They're reinvesting that net income. So they're still profitable, and they're reinvesting the money for innovation. I mean, big things. And when you actually zoom out and you look at this from the one day, you know, this has been a growing company all its time. Like, really think about it. It's a huge deal, and you're going to be able to own a piece of it. It's pretty cool. But this isn't something that's going to get you rich overnight. We always focus here on Invest for Tomorrow, maximizing profits, minimizing losses, and focusing in on opportunities. So if you feel like you missed this one because you didn't catch it at $70, it's all right. You can watch it for a pullback. And if you feel like this is not for you, that's cool. I'm not here to tell you to buy, sell, or hold any positions, but I am here to enlighten you. And at the end of the day, if this pulls back or just continues going up or kind of sits sideways for a little bit, this stock will be higher than where we see it today. Just look at that 1 day chart. Okay. Once upon a time, these were the present days. And I would always say this, and I'm saying it right now. Today's prices are cheaper than tomorrow's. And this is a good chart to go ahead and show you that true statement. These days were once today, and those today's prices were cheaper than tomorrow's. And tomorrow is right here, the bigger picture. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.